Hi guys, we are group 3 and now we will discuss about chapter 12 about self concept and lifestyle. So this is chapter 12 table of content. So first we come to describe self concept and how it is measures and how it is used to position products. Learning objective 2, we will define lifestyle and its relationship to the self concept and the psychographics. And learning objective 3, we will explain specific lifestyle typologies and summarize those for luxury sports car and technology too. And learning objective 4, we will explain the general lifestyle typologies and summarize those for vows and primes. And last but not least, we will discuss international lifestyle and one existing segmentation scheme.
At first, self-concept is defined as totality the individual's thoughts and feelings having reference to himself or herself as an object. The self-concept can be divided into four basic parts as shown in the table 12.1: actual versus ideal, and private versus social. The actual ideal distinction refers to the individual's perception of "who am I now", actual self-concept, and "who I would like to be", ideal self-concept. The private self refers to how I am or would like to be to myself, private self-concept. And social self is how I am seen by others or how I would like to be seen by others, such as social self-concept. The independent self-concepts individuals with an independent self-concept tend to be individualistic, egocentric, autonomous, self-reliant, and self-contained. But the interdependent self-concept emphasizes on family control, professional and social relationships, which tend to be obedient, social-centric, holistic, connected, and relation-oriented. The extended self consists of the self plus possessions, that is, people tend to define themselves in part of their possessions. A peak experience is an experience that surpasses the usual level of intensity, meaningfulness, and richness, and also produces feelings of joy and self-fulfillment. For example, lifestyle can be a part of extended self. According to Table 12.2, Malhotra has developed 15 pairs of adjectives, as well as the images of automobiles and celebrities. These have proved effective in describing individuals' ideal, actual, and social self-concepts. By using this scale, you can determine actual and desired private and social self-concepts. The relationship between self-concept and brand image influence is the connection between how individuals see themselves and how they perceive a brand.
Ernest Gimoto developed Object 2 define lifestyle and its relationship to the self-concept and through the choreography. As figure 12.2 indicate that lifestyle is basically how a person lives. It is how a person ignites her or his self-concept and is determined by past experience, innate characteristics, and current situation. One's lifestyle influences all aspects of consumption behavior and is a function of inherent individual characteristics that have been shaped and formed through social interaction as the person has evolved through the life cycle. In this figure 12.2, it shows that the lifestyle in the consumption process, it has three parts: lifestyle determining, lifestyle, and impact on behavior. And as we move to the measuring of lifestyle, a term to develop quantitative measure of lifestyle were initially referring to as psychographic. In fact, the terms psychographic and lifestyle are frequently used interchangeably. Psychographic or lifestyle study typically include the following: attitude, value, activity, and interest, demographic, media pattern, and usage rate. And next we move to the leading MP3, Islam-specific lifestyle technology and summarized through for luxury sport car and technology. The two specific lifestyle schemes that luxury sport car is Top Gun 27%, ambitious and driven, disrupt value power and control the expect to be noticed. Ethics 24%. This old family money blue blood don't see a car as an extension of their personality. Cars are cars no matter what the right tag. Rare pattern 23%. This group betray a car to satisfy themselves, not to impress others. A car is a reward for their hard work. Born Viven 17%. The trip seeker and trend setter see cars as enhancing their already exciting life. And final is fantastic 9%. This group use the car as an escape, not as a means to impress others. In fact, they feel a bit of good for owning a party. And next is technology segment. We have three parts: wager 31%, tournament 30%, and apprentice 31%.
So we come to learning object 4. So first definition, we come to VALS. VALS, which is short for Values and Lifestyle Survey, which is a proprietary research methodology used for psychographic market segmentation. They usually based on enduring psychological characteristics that correlate with purchase pattern. So there are 8 types of VALS. First one is innovator. They're usually sophisticated, high self-esteem, upscale, and image is important to them. The second one is thinker, usually practical, and people who are their finances allow for many choice and they usually look for value. The next one is achiever. They usually goal-oriented lifestyle and image play a crucial role in their life. The next one is experience. They're usually people who are unconventional and they seek for stimulation from new experience in their life. And the believer are usually strongly traditional and respect rules, and they prefer familiar and established brand rather than everything. And the next one is striver, which is trendy and fun and loving, and for them money defines success, and they care about other opinion. The next one is maker, usually practical people. They usually do it by themselves and they're unimpressed by material possession. They prefer the value to the luxury more than. And the last one is survivor, which is they buy at discount, and this type of vow they usually have little motivation to buy. And the vows include 3 primary consumer motivation, which is ideal, achievement, and self-expression. So the next we have here is PRIMS. PRIMS is short for Potential Rating Index for Zip Market. They are a state-of-the-art geo-demographic classification system that merged US Census data with extensive data on product consumption and media usage pattern. So the PRIMS organized 66 individual segments into broader social and life state group. So the 4 major social groups are urban, usually major city with high population density, and suburban are moderately dense suburban area which is surrounded by metropolitan area. And the third one is second city, usually smaller, less densely populated city or satellite to major city. And the last one we have is town and rural, which is low density town and rural community. So the product life stage group are based on age and the percent of children, which is influence the consumption pattern and lifestyle. So there are three major life stage groups. The first one is younger year, which are single and couple under 35 years of age without kids or middle age without kids at all. And the second one is family life, which is a household with children living at home. And the last one is mature year, are single and couple age 55 and over, or age from 45 to 64 without children at home. So we have here 6 sample prim segments. We have here is young, digestive, blue blood, estate, big fish, small ponds, pools and patios, young and rustic, and the last but not least, cold and pound. So in Learning Object 5, we have here is the table that shows the global lifestyle segment. We have the first one is striver, 23%. They are the people who value material and professional goal and are driven by wealth, status, and power. The second one is devout, 22%. They value duty, faith, obedience, and respect for the elder. They are least interested in Western brand and are more and most common in developing Asia, for example, like Philippines, Africa, and the Middle East, and have the least common in developed Asia, for example, like Japan and Western Europe. So the third one is ultras, which is 18%. They are interested in social issue and welfare of society. They are usually in the age of the median age of 44, and they have the most common in Latin America and Russia. So the intimate, which is 15%, they are value close personal relationship with family, and they are a good target with a familiar consumer brand. So the fifth one we have is fun seeker, 12%. They value adventure, pleasure, and excitement. They are heavy user of electronic media and fashion conscious, and they're like going to restaurant, bars, and clubs like Gen Z right now. So the last one we have is creative, 10%. They are interested in knowledge, education, and technology, and they are the heaviest user of media, particular book, magazine, and newspaper. And creative are more common in Latin America and Western Europe.
So, hi everyone, this is chapter 13, which is about the situational influence. So there are 6 learning objectives that we're gonna learn in chapter 13. First of all is define situational influence. The second one is explain the 4 types of situations and their relevance to marketing strategies. The third one is summarize the 5 characteristics of situations and their influence of consumption. Fourth is discuss brutal situations and their importance to consumers and marketers. 5 is discuss brutal situations and their importance to consumers and marketers. And the last one is describe the use of situational influence in developing marketing strategies. So now we're going to take a look about what the situational influence mean. This is the factors particular to a time and a place that do not follow from a knowledge of stable attributes of consumer and stimulus that have an effect on current behavior. So you can understand that it is distinct from consumer characteristic and stimulus characteristic, which are more stable. Situational factors can include the physical environment, social factors, time factors, and consumer's mood. So consumer can have different behavior depends on different situation. So for example, an ad that is can effective in non-purchase situation and may be less effective in purchase situation. Similarly, displayed in a clutter store can be less likely to attract attention that display in the less cluttered store. Consumer behavior occurs within 4 broad categories of situation. First is the communication situation, the purchase situation, the usage situation, and the last one is the position situation. Marketers need to understand the situational influence in order to develop effective marketing strategies, and this will be discussed in these following parts.
So next we will learn about the four types of situation and how they're related to marketing strategy. So first of all, we have the communication situation. This is a situation in which the consumers receive the information or the marketing messages from the marketers. So, for example, like, are you sad or happy when hearing the information or the marketing messages? So the next one is the purchase situation. This is a situation in which the product selection or the purchase actually occurs. So for example, like when you're rushing to class or you're affected by the shortness of time or the weather, is it rainy or sunny at that time? Like, yeah, and the next one is the usage situation. So the usage situation is the situation in which the purchased good or service will be used. For example, do we have to buy like Coke or wine for a party with children or adults? And the last one, the disposition situation. So this is the situation in which the product is disposed before or after use, can be to replace or to update. For example, you have to remove the existing bed before buying a new one.
Thank you, Preeti presentation, and we now research about the characteristic of situations with five key dimensions. First one is physical surroundings, which is include decor, sounds, aromas, lighting, weather, or configurations of merchandise or other materials surrounding the stimulus object. To create specific feelings in shopper, owner will pay attention to architecture, arrangement, and assortment of retailers. Therefore, the store atmosphere and atmospheric very important in consumer willingness and linger. Having a look on this table, the consumption purpose is categorized along a continuum from strictly utilitarian, such as dry cleaning, to complete hedonic, such as massage. The time can range from a few minutes to days or weeks. As we saw in Chapter 8, colors create feelings of excitement and arousal related to attention. Besides, aromas is beneficial in purchasing tension, time spending on the product, and increased memory. It is visible that music plays an important role in retailers or even advertisement because it influences consumer modes and consumption behavior both in tradition settings and in online ones. For to prove it, I have a table 13.1. For that reason, firms exist to develop music programs. For example, the soundtrack your brand, a leading supplier of foreground music. The majority of us will have a negative feelings when you work in a crowded store because for that reason the owner tried to design outlets to reduce customer feelings of crowding. For example, the extra personnel or additional checkout lines. And again, music will affect offset the negative emotions. And besides, the personal space will have to notice because it vary culture to culture. The second dimension is social surroundings. Nowadays, marketers have usually begun to examine the role of social influence on embarrassment. For that reason, they try to make advertisement with no embarrassment on such products such as condoms or napkin. And shopping is not only for purchasing products but also for social situations. Third one is temporal perspective. Limited purchase time can also result in a smaller number of product alternatives being considered. For that reason, such brands as Lazada provide the flexibility and convenience of making purchases at any time. And the fourth one is task definition. In this one, gift giving has to be noticed. Of course, it is a culture specific in Vietnam. If you are the recipient of a gift, do not open it in front of everyone. The last one is antecedent states. As In previous chapter, I have mentioned the moods will be appear to be associated with browsing and impulse purchasing. Marketers attempt to influence moods to time marketing activities. Whereas the moods reflect states of mind, momentary conditions reflect temporary states of being. For example, when an individual breaks up, he or she tend to look for food for relaxing. And we will now transfer to learning objective 4. First one is for the ritual situations. For example, when you have a meal with your friend, we will snap it on locket. We usually say that cúng locket trước ăn sau. It is a major important to marketers, and to prove its importance, in full moon days in Vietnam, the percentage of purchasing vegetarian ingredients is significantly increased. And this is the end of my part. Thanks for listening.
So in the earlier part, we talk about different marketing methods that consider situational factors. Now let's concentrate on how we actually come up with these strategies. So here I'm talking about learning objective 5, describe the use of situational influence in developing marketing strategies. So here we come to the first things we need to know is one, the marketers have pointed out the various situations in which a product might be used. Then they need to figure out which product or brand are most suitable for those situations. Last, they need once the one approach to is to access and compare both the situation and the product together. So here is the graph next to it is example. As you can see in the first situations is to clean my mouth open rising in the mornings. So as you can see is from the consumption from the home usage and concern with personal response, they choose to use toothpaste. But in the situation number two is before an important business meetings late in the afternoon. So as we can see, the consumption use away from home and concern with response from others. They prefer the mint flavor candies or gum. So next is 5 steps for developing situation-based marketing strategies. So following these 5 steps in order it is another method for generating situation-based marketing strategies. So the first step is use observational study, focus group discussion, depth interviews, and secondary data to discover the various usage situations that influence the consumption of the product. Second is surveys a large sample of consumer to better understand and quantity how the product is used and the benefit sought in the usage situations by the market segment. And thirdly is construct a personal situation segmentation matrix. So this step we will have the example later. Fourthly, we'll come to evaluate each sale in terms of potentials such as sale volumes, price level, cost to serve, competitor strengths, and so forth. And last but not least is develop and implement a marketing series for those sales that offers sufficient profit potential given your capabilities. So here's an example of a segmentation matrix. So the as you can see here, the tables, the row represent different situations where a product is used, and the column represents different type of people in their specific needs and wants. And in each box, you will find the main advantage or maybe benefit that these people are looking for. So here is the end of our group presentations. Thanks for listening and hope you have a wonderful week.